Entertainment Soldier here, and I am back to talk about Star Trek Starfleet Academy Season 1, Episode 3, and my thoughts on this episode. Well, I'm 50-50. Look, was this a great episode? Fucking hell, it was not. Too much childish shit. The fucking language in this episode is beyond ridiculous. Some scenes were a bit over the fucking top. And the fact that stupid cunt cannot sit up straight in a fucking chair for more than 2 seconds. My God, it pisses me off every time. But was it terrible? No. No, it was not. I actually enjoyed some of the scenes in this episode. I like the fact that you have cadets focused, some cadets that want to be better than themselves, cadets pushing themselves to the limit. I also enjoyed the game or training that they introduced in this episode. I think that's pretty damn interesting, especially for a time period where, yes, the Federation would do that kind of training because of the burn. I do think that makes sense, which I can appreciate. Look, I'm not just going to hate on this show because it's Kurtzman Trek. I think there's a shitload of problems. One especially being the fucking Chancellor. I cannot stand her. Every time she's on screen, I want to punch my television. And Sam as well. I am already sick of her. I'm sorry. I don't get why she's in this show. You've got a bunch of okay characters. She is just a noose around this show's neck. Just like the Chancellor. But the other characters, Genesis, I think she's a straight character. I think she's a good character. I see potential in her character. You know, this showed what she was good at in this episode. It also shows that she does have a weakness. Mainly to do with her dad. That makes fucking sense. You know, being the daughter of an admiral, and you open yourself up to somebody and that person does that shit to you, makes complete sense, understandable. And you can also criticise her for that. I think it's fair to say you do need to get over the fact you do have daddy issues, because if you want to be a captain, shit's going to happen. You might not be comfortable with it, but you have to be prepared for it. I like the fact we heard more about Durham in this episode. He's super focused. He's willing to do anything he has to do to win. I fucking respect that. And you find out some personal shit about him, and you then feel kind of sorry for him. I like that shit. This has done, in 3 episodes, more than Star Trek Discovery did in 5 seasons. I'm learning more about the characters. I'm learning about what they are like in their private life and what they are like in their work life. I am not being left, to ask stupid questions. That is good. But unfortunately, there's still the problem with the writing. This episode is a joke. I'm sorry, but it is. There are good scenes in it. But the majority of this episode is around a stupid fucking... I don't think I can go into that because it's spoilers, but it's something stupid. Something the Chancellor should have stopped straight away, but seems to think this is a great teaching moment. Yes, Chancellor, that is the greatest thing you can do. Let's have them act like fucking children instead of acting like adults. Because when they're out there, in space, on a starship, you want them to be doing childish shit. You fucking retard. There's not much I can say about Caleb in this episode. I mean, he was there. That's all I can say. I mean, look, I get it. This is a show made for teenagers and then people at the start of their 20s. That Gen Z shit. I get it. You need this stupid love story. It's there if you want it. If you're interested in that shit, there you go. I'm not. I don't care. I'm not 15 anymore. I want to see more of Star Trek. I want to see more of them doing that type of shit. And we did get that in this episode. Look, I know some people are going to say the majority of this episode was bullshit, and I completely agree. I am not defending that shit. I am not defending the Chancellor's choice of allowing them to do that stupid shit. I think it's ridiculous that this got that far. And I think it's ridiculous she thinks this is a teachable moment, when it just wasn't. But I'm not just going to call this complete horseshit, because it wasn't. Genesis is a strong character. So is Damon. Or Demon, whatever the fuck it's called. They are very strong characters, and you can see potential. Not really much to say about the Klingon guy. I think he's also gay in this show, because apparently there was some sort of shit going between him and some kid. I don't fucking know the other guy's name either. It's there if you want it. The character so far has been pretty boring and pointless. I don't know why he's in this episode. Something tells me we're going to get an episode in the future that's going to, show us what he's all about, but so far he's kind of a lame duck to me. Yeah, I mean, look, the strong part of this episode was the training. I think the training made complete sense. I enjoyed the fact there was a little bit of comedy in there, but listen, I'm not defending the comedy of this show. A lot of the comedy in this show is fucking ridiculous. Especially those stupid fucking plants. My God, what the fuck? It's really childish. And again, I'm going to keep mentioning this. Every Kurtzman show has the same goddamn issue with the language. They are not from the 21st century. They do not need to be speaking like retards. They don't have to swear every fucking time. And if some arsehole, oh my God, if some arsehole says, well, you swear all the time. Am I a Starfleet officer? Am I in this fucking show? Shut the fuck up. They are supposed to be Starfleet officers. Or potential officers. Can they not swear? Is that so hard for these arseholes not to write them swearing every 5 seconds? There is a fucking clip of Gene Roddenberry even mentioning, if you're swearing, you're a fucking moron. Could you just stop with it? They're not children. They're young adults. Grow the fuck up. But as a whole, the episode was shit. Again, the main story was ridiculous. The middle bit of the episode, the training bit, was great. And the ending was just dumb. So, what would I give this episode out of 10? I like the middle bit. I think that's a strong part of it. Unfortunately, there's just too much bad. So, I'm giving this a 3 out of 10. It's a 3 out of 10. That's the best I'm doing. So far, this show, there is potential in characters, but the problem always seems to be, there's just too much Kurtzman Trek. If you put decent writers in this, if you have a decent head of Star Trek, this show could have serious potential. If you take out the childish shit, if you take out the woke shit, if you take out characters like Sam, the Chancellor, I think the show could be even good. I'll even give it to the fucking Klingon Jem'Hadar woman. What's her fucking name again? Lana Kron or whatever. She's okay so far. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, is she a lesbian? Ain't she the fucking woke bitch? Look, from what I've seen so far, yes, she's over the top. Yes, the stuff she's asking them to do is kind of obviously something she can't do in these training, scenes. But you know what? She's not terrible. I'm not just going to lie and just say, oh, she's a fucking shit character because she's lesbian. Because she's not. I liked the scene when she called out the Chancellor. I did. I don't think she's terrible. I can also laugh at her scenes when she's telling him to do sit-ups and press-ups and say, come on, love, you ain't going to be able to do that. But she's not. She's their commanding officer. She doesn't have to. So I can legitimately see her as a good Starfleet officer. Yes, the overacting with the Klingon shit is getting a bit thin for me. But other than that, it's fine. I can get over it. Again, I've watched Star Trek Discovery. I've seen the worst of the worst. The worst acting, the worst writing, the worst stories you can ever imagine. I've seen the worst of Kurtzman Trek. I'm sorry, this isn't the worst. It's not the best, not by any stretch of the imagination. So far, all I've seen so far is okay characters, potential in some, shit characters. There is a lot of shit characters, but overall, it's an okay season so far. I have no idea what's going to happen in the future. Absolutely none. But so far, it's okay with certain characters. Look, the episode as a whole it's pretty shit. But that's all I'm going to say there. So, a 3 out of 10. Let's get to spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So, the episode starts off with Derom waking up at 5 a.m., and getting started early, getting on with like weight training, on doing sit-ups and all that bullshit, whatever. And he then gets hit in the face by Caleb because, he wants to sleep in whilst Daron wants to work. You've got to respect that. You do. Because, again, this is Kurtzman Trek, and, they don't really do that with characters. They mainly make them look stupid and say you've got to like them because this or that. But with this, I can respect it. So he gets up early, does his exercises, heads out of his room, and then bumps into Genesis, who has woken up early and seems to wake up early every day to do certain trainings. Again, you can respect that. And I like this scene. 2 Federation potential officers working hard to make it to become a Starfleet officer. What's not to like and what's not to respect? So, yeah, he's kind of a bit annoyed because Genesis is waking up earlier than him, where he was thinking he was top dog. And again, some people could say, isn't that woke? A woman showing a man up? I don't see it as woke. I see it as she's got more to gain and she's got more to risk because she is a daughter of a admiral. So she's got more to prove. So you can see that. And again, she did say she grew up with her dad, and maybe her dad woke up a bunch of time. I mean, he probably woke up a lot and she just copied him, which is fair. And I enjoyed it. So after this, we get another scene of all the cadets training with each other. Turns out they train with the War College in the same gym. And you've got Lara Rook, whatever the fuck she's called, walking up and down saying, do the press-ups, do the shit, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. Whilst they're doing all this, they're getting into an altercation with the guys from the War College because one of them, and I think it was the Vulcan, threw a ball at Caleb. Now, this starts some shit between the pair, and yeah, this is where it kind of goes a bit shit for me. They're not children. They need to grow the fuck up. Throwing balls at each other, it's ridiculous. So they get into this kind of argument with each other. They start threatening each other, but then Lara Frook comes in and tells them to get back to work. Well, no, she says something stupid like, I will not have the gym have blood in it today. And it's like, calm the fuck down, love. I doubt they were going to kill each other. So they go to the showers. I don't know why Sam's in the shower room. Isn't she a fucking hologram? Seems a bit weird for her to be standing around while everybody else having showers, whereas she doesn't. That's kind of weird. But then a prank happens. They all get transported all over the school. You get a ridiculous scene with Caleb's like naked in the middle of a class, and then I think Genesis is being into a pool or something. And they want blood, basically. They want to return the prank favour to the War College. By the way, the War College, the kids that did it, admit to it. They go on a big screen and say, fuck you, Starfleet, basically. And at this point I was thinking, isn't that fucking stupid? You're literally admitting to a crime, or at least admitting to do something stupid. Like, you're going to be punished for this, aren't you? How fucking wrong was I? I was thinking these were adults, not children. Turns out they are fucking children, because Laura Rook goes in and sees the Chancellor and tells her what happened, which is basically, these kids just got transported illegally by the War College. What are we going to do? And instead of the Chancellor saying, okay, let's calm down this situation, punish the kids from the War College and tell our students not to retaliate because that's childish, she says, oh, let them do it. And I'm just like, you're the Chancellor of a school, you dumb cunt. Could you act like an adult and not a child? I mean, Laura Rook fucking says to her, what are you doing? We can't allow this to continue. We can't have tit for tat. We need to stop this now. And she's like, no. We're not going to do that. We're going to use this as a teaching exercise. I'm just like, what the fuck are you, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, LaRook is the only fucking person in that room with any sense. And we did get a fucking stupid scene of LaRook pretty much saying, I believe in you, Chancellor. I like you, Chancellor. I chose to be here because I think it's the best. I'm just like, calm the fuck down, LaRook. Calm down. I get it. You want to be in Starfleet. But shouldn't she have the balls to say to her, stop this now or I'll do it? Because, no, she doesn't do that. She agrees to do what the fucking Chancellor wants, which is to allow the students to retaliate, basically. So we then go to the next scene, where the kids are all planning to do retaliation against the War College, and then the Chancellor walks in and says, hey, everybody, I'm here to make this worse. And pretty much tells the kids, go on and fucking do it, basically. And just starts, and it was really ridiculous. She starts giving them ideas, basically. Grabs a fucking annoying flower that talks, apparently, and just tells them, this would probably be a great idea to fucking prank the fucking War College with. And then says something about Sun Tzu and the Book of Law, the War Book, whatever the fuck it's called. And, yeah, just leaves the students with that and just says, hey, be smart when you retaliate. That's all she does. Doesn't try to de-escalate it. Doesn't try to tell them it's a stupid thing for them to do. Doesn't tell them to stop acting like children. Basically eggs them on. We then go to the next scene where we're introduced to new training for the recruits. Now the training is called Kalasa. No, it's not that. Calixa Games, I think. So the Calixa Games are basically training for combat. Now, it is massively over the top, but I enjoyed it. Now, some people are going to say Starfleet is not a military, organisation. It's a science-based organisation. Yes, that is true, but we are dealing with the period after the burn. There's probably going to be a lot of dangerous places these kids are going to be going to, so having combat training is going to be useful to them. And Starfleet did have military training, it just wasn't this crazy, I'm betting. And I liked it. It seems like the scene had a lot of money spent on it. I like the fact the students have put, the combat situation to train them for the future. I thought it was a good scene. You had what's the fucking name? Lara Frick training them and telling them like this is the battlefield, do the best you can. And you could see the students trying to challenge each other, especially Derum and Genesis. Two people I would generally think would make good Starfleet officers at this point. Now you're trying to beat each other because they want to see who's the best, because whoever wins this competition becomes captain of the team. And again, Genesis does have a lot to prove, being a daughter of an admiral. But Darum, he also has something to prove because he also has very strict parents himself, and he does want to prove himself. So again, it's a good scene. So the first part of the training is basically running around trying to not get hit by the phaser drones going about and ringing every bell you can. Genesis gets the first one, Darum gets the second one, and by the end of the game, they're both tied. Whereas all the others, Caleb doesn't seem to really give a shit. Sam is just mentally retarded at this point. I mean, she was pretty fucking useless in that entire fucking scene. Again, her character is becoming really annoying. Can she either grow the fuck up or become funnier? Because she's just neither of them. They always get kind of wiped out. The next part of the games is using phasers, and Caleb arrives late, and Lara Rook shoots him with a phaser to show the students that when you get shot with a phaser, it's a transporter beam, basically. So you get transported to like a red zone that makes you out of the game. So the first part of it starts, they run through, grab the phaser, start shooting, and I think they're supposed to take an area or something. But anyway, by the end of the game, we are then given the scores, and it turns out Darum and Genesis are tied. Now, either one of these people can, they have to now go up against each other to see who's captain. So it's a shootout, and during the shootout, Darum brings up Genesis's dad and how she has daddy issues, and this takes her out of focus, giving Darum the game because he gets more points than her because of that. And she is massively depressed by this because Darum, she thinks, did a dirty trick. I don't agree. I think he used a tactic on her and she should have been an adult and gone and not let it infect her that much. Again, I get it. Father issues, fine. But again, you're a Starfleet officer. Grow the fuck up. Or at least a cadet. Grow the fuck up. I think it was a fair tactic he used. Now, after it's announced that Darum is now the captain of the team, whilst the kids are kind of enjoying the moment of this, except for Genesis, who's still pissed off about, the daddy thing, the War College do another prank on the students where they take an advert for Starfleet Academy, and yes, apparently they now have adverts in the Federation again. Fuck's sake, these writers, they don't have TVs, they don't have adverts. I know they didn't watch real Star Trek, but it pisses me off. This is not how the Federation people act. They don't have TVs. There's no need of TVs anymore because of fucking holodecks. There is no need for adverts because you don't need to advertise for Starfleet. Everybody should want to go. And some arsehole is going to say, well, it's new. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's just not an argument. So yes, the War College prank is to pretty much show all of the video of the students being shit in the training and put that in the advert. The students want to get back at the War College again because so far they haven't really done much to get back at the War College. Actually, they haven't done anything to get back at the War College. But now they've challenged them to a game of tag, basically, or laser tag. This game is basically, there's two mascots, which pretty much the shittest player on the team. I don't know why Sam was not in that costume. Anyway, the shittest person on their teams are mascots, and they got to defend them from the opposing team. And the fact that Darum is now in charge is kind of a problem now because this guy does not know what he's doing, and you can tell in the first match where he is knocked out within 2 seconds. Oh, I should mention the scene between Caleb and the Betazoid girl. I don't remember her name, sorry. They have this stupid basketball, thing with each other. She points out that she's she didn't join the War College because she didn't join Starfleet because she wants to be in the War College because the War College will help her control herself more because apparently, as a Beta Z person, she has, the reading minds power. She's a telepath, sorry. And she's trying to control her power because apparently she's very strong, or at least that's what she was kind of getting at. And she has a thing on her neck that says when it's getting too dangerous. It goes blue when she's alright, it goes red when she's not. And apparently Caleb makes her not uncomfortable, but gets her to, too much passion comes out of her when he's around. So that's why she avoided going to Starfleet. So Caleb can calm the fuck down because he thinks he's done something wrong. It's like, Jesus. Again, I don't give a shit about this scene. I just don't care. Sorry. Again, it's a fucking teen love story. I could give a shit. I did all that shit when I was in my 20s. I don't need to do it now in my 30s. Anyway. So, after they have the match. Daron is pretty shit as a captain because he seems to be telling everybody to run at the other team. No tactics, no team planning, just run and hope you get a kill, or at least get a shot off. And they start losing to the point the team looks to Genesis, who actually does the smart thing and actually prepares an actual plan. So the plan is to shoot the replicators to create a smoke screen, which they do. This then hides the cadets from the War College cadets, and they wait for them to fire, and they find their positions like that, and they win one game. At this point, Genesis goes over to Darom and tries to, calm him down after he was kind of massively embarrassed and shown for a moron who doesn't know tactics, because also the War College kids kind of took the piss out of him because they said they found a better captain, and that insulted him, and he's angry about it. So instead of him proving himself for the next game, he decides to have a hissy fit and walks off. Now, again, I did say this character had potential, but at this scene, I was kind of like, dude, get the fuck over yourself. Yes, Genesis seems to be a better captain than you because she at least tried to make a fucking plan, not just rush the War College. Maybe instead of crying about it, accept that you fucked up and that maybe you need to get better at tactics. Not just walk off in a huff, like a child. But before they can have the next match, Lara Rook comes in with a girlfriend. Oh yeah, I should mention them two are girlfriend and girlfriend. The engineer from the Discovery, she's wife, or is it just girlfriend? I didn't get that far. But yeah, they get told to go back to their rooms and they're going to get punished later. They then get brought in front of the Chancellor, who again can't sit in a fucking chair like an adult. She has to lie there like a stupid cunt. And pretty much tells them they're all punished while saying some really stupid shit that comes back later. I'm not going through it. The next scene is the Chancellor going off to talk to the head of the War College and informing him, your kids are taking the piss and we should stop this now. Again, where was all this like 20 minutes ago? Where was all this where you could stop all this, punish the War College kids for doing what they did? Like, why did it take so long to get to this point? It's ridiculous. And then it turns out the leader of the War College is helping his kids do it. Are there no adults in this? Are there no adults in this show? I don't know. Honestly, this is the future of Starfleet, and we've got two fucking morons in charge of both schools. You're not a child, dude. You're the leader of the fucking War College. Stop being a fucking moron. Oh, and yet again, the Chancellor can't sit up straight in a goddamn chair. She lies down. She lies in the front. I know people are going to say it's childish, get over it. No, okay, it's just ridiculous. I get it. You're really trying to push the hippie teacher bullshit. We get that. Can we get on with it now? Can she just sit up straight like a fucking adult who's trying to teach children? For God's sake. But anyway, so Darren's still kind of pissed off about how he did being the captain of the team and how it was pretty shit. He goes to the engineer from Discovery to ask about, has he received some messages from his parents, or is there something wrong with his pad? Turns out there's nothing wrong with his pad. His parents just not talking to him, and it's kind of like it's a kind of a deep moment because the guy is obviously stressing about how he was as a captain, and he gets no love from his parents, and he feels depressed. So the engineer from Discovery kind of tells him, look, you haven't got any message from your parents, but even if you did, if you have to work to get the message, it's not really worth it. And I thought that was a good advice. Look, if someone doesn't want to talk to you, don't bother talking to them. It's not worth it. Get on with your life, have a happier life. Something the left should really fucking, learn. If I don't like you, just stop talking. Stop trying to force me to accept your way of life. But anyway, so next scene, the kids are finally going to get back at the War College. But they now need to make a plan that's going to be big enough and bold enough to really stick it to the War College. So Genesis comes up with an idea, which is basically, we're going to put a bunch of plants, those annoying speaking plants, in their rooms, but we're going to change them to make them bigger and worse, basically. Damon comes in and apologises to Genesis about being a twat, which I liked. And Genesis tells them, look, we both got problems with family. Let's just get over that and let's focus on getting back at the War College. They both agree. He tells some stupid story about how he did something wrong in some sort of theatre thing when he was playing some sort of instrument, and his parents kind of walked out when he made one mistake. Okay, yeah, childhood trauma is a bitch. Grow the fuck up. You're in Starfleet. Anyway, so the plan is Caleb's going to go in there pretending to be the mascot guy from the War College, walk through, get into the Chancellor of the War College's room, deactivate the security of the War College's school so that Sam can walk in there and start setting the plant traps. She does, he does. There's a scene between Caleb and the Betazoid girl where she tells them all the shit like, I like you, let's be together, whatever, blah, 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 don't give a shit. And yeah, the plan works, the plants go off, everybody in the War College now has to get out of the building, and the head of the War College sees that the kids have pretty much beaten now by the Starfleet Academy students and surrenders basically. And the Chancellor walks up and tells him, that's fine, let's work together, blah, 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 blah. The War College wants to get back at the Starfleet Academy, but it's pretty much over. And the episode ends with the Chancellor and Caleb talking about the fact that she pretty much gave them all the ideas of what to do to the War College. And yeah, this was apparently a good thing for her to do with her time. Instead of getting them to focus on their lessons, get them to focus on doing a prank. And that's the end of the episode. It is a bad episode. I didn't like the prank shit. They're not children. I know I keep calling them children, but they are in their 20s. They're not like real adults yet. But they are adults. Whatever. What the fuck? Listen, they're Starfleet officers doing pranks. I think that's stupid. They should not be doing this. And I don't get why. Listen, you want to tell this stupid story, have the Chancellors tell them not to do it, and just have them disobey orders. And then at the end, when she's punishing them, she can do we've done this shit before in other shows. You know, when the person in charge of them doesn't want them to retaliate, but secretly does. Doesn't egg them on, tells them not to do it, but by the end, when they've done it, that person will then say, you're punished, but well done. That's all you had to do. You could make the Chancellor then seem a bit more, you know, professional and less a hippie. But look, episode wasn't complete shit. I did like the scene with Darom and Genesis. I think these two characters are definitely strong. Bit disappointed that Caleb didn't really do much in this episode other than have his stupid little relationship shit with the girl. But other than that, oh, I haven't even mentioned the Klingon in this episode. There's no point. He doesn't really do much in this episode. I'm not even going to bother. As a whole, the episode shit, but there is potential there. Again, better writers, a better showrunner. This show could be something. It could. It's not complete shit. There's just a lot of stuff that has to be cut. Mainly the Chancellor and Sam and the Klingon. Because those three characters I could literally do without. But yeah, 3 out of 10. That's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And if you have a comment, leave it below and I'll try to get back to it. Entertainment World Soldier. Bye. Oh, and if you can, spread this on any social media platforms, X, Facebook, whatever you can. I'd really appreciate it. Entertainment World Soldier. Bye.